Hi guys and welcome to Motorbeam. We all know VW makes some amazing cars with no compromise in terms of build quality and engineering excellence. But how do you make these cars even better? Well, you modify them like these cars right here. Now you might not believe this, but this car is just 3 months old. Meanwhile, this one is around 5 years old. Both of them look almost similar in terms of age because this one has been really well maintained, and this actually looks extremely striking because there are a lot of mods on this particular car. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the modifications on these VWs. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Motorbeam channel. While the Vento is a sleeper, the Polo is not, because this is an older car. A lot of the modifications have been done to make it on par with the latest generation, or rather the latest iteration of the Vento, which means the wheels have been updated on this particular vehicle, and other than that, there's not much to talk about as such on the exterior aspect. But for the Polo, there's so much to talk and more. Right from the bumper, which has been sourced from Thailand, the GTI kit, the GTI badging, the headlights, which of course have been upgraded, get the projector treatment, the LEDs, the dynamic swipe indicators as well. And this car is running on 17-inch wheels, wider tires, and at the rear you get aftermarket tail lights, a revised rear bumper as well, a roof spoiler. It's just so flashy in a good way. Now a lot of black has been used on the Polo, which means that the logo has been blacked out. There's a gloss black finish on the roof, and you might be wondering, are those headlight washers? Yes, they are, but they're not functional. Both these cars also get an aftermarket rear parking camera, which just makes it more practical to park these vehicles. The Vento definitely gets it now. The Polo still misses out on it. When you step inside, you realize that a lot of stuff has happened to improve the overall ambience of the vehicle, which means carpeting around the door pads, along with a lot of parts which have been sourced from the Polo as well as the Passat, like the lights, the paddle shifters, and from the GTI, which is the steering wheel, which gets a flat bottom, and the handbrake as well. Even the inside rear view mirror has been sourced from the Passat. Meanwhile, the Polo doesn't really have many changes on the inside. What has really changed on these vehicles is the performance. Both of them get an updated map from Peets. The Vento produces 132 horsepower, meanwhile the Polo produces 138 horsepower. That's a significant uptick from stock. Torque output from this 1.2 TSI motor is now upgraded to almost 200 Newton meters of torque. Torque output from the Polo GT TDI is almost 300 Newton meters. The result is both of them perform so much better than stock. What completely changes the drive experience in the Vento is the fact that it gets paddle shifters, which just makes it so much more engaging to drive the Vento. But that's not all. These cars also get updated suspension system with Sachs shocks. However, the Polo only gets it at the front. With the upgraded suspension and wider rubber, definitely the handling characteristic has improved, but that does not change the steering, which doesn't really offer much feel and feedback as such, but the car does feel stiff, which is a bit of a compromise in terms of ride quality. However, in terms of grip levels, in terms of body roll, there's a significant improvement because both these cars feel so much more eager around the corners. Both these cars also get an updated air intake from BMC, which just improves the sound which comes from the motor, the intake sound. However, the Vento misses out on an exhaust. But this diesel Polo gets one. Well, they've just deleted the end cat. The result is this car is just so much more smoother and refined than a stock Polo GT TDI. Now when I'm sitting inside, I realize that the Vento also gets front parking sensors with the interface which is very similar to the Passat. In fact, the paddle shifters also come from the Passat. Meanwhile, the Polo gets a perfume in the center, which I'm not even kidding, is known as Romantic Encounter. This car also gets an updated audio system. The audio quality is so much better than before, and also gets an updated infotainment screen. Both these cars also get updated brakes, with the Vento getting updated rotors as well as discs, enabling better stopping performance. In fact, they come from the GTI. Couple of more nifty modifications in the Vento happen to be anti-glare outside rear view mirrors, and the infotainment system has been upgraded to enable Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto connectivity. The Polo also gets side skirts which look subtle and nice. Meanwhile, the Vento gets a very nifty feature which actually improves horsepower, because on the number plate you get the German flag. Well, it doesn't seem out of place, unlike what I've seen on Indian roads, a lot of non-German cars sporting it. So the price of these modifications can go up to rupees 3 lakhs. Yes, that's right. But the mods are tried and tested, they're reliable and definitely improve the practicality as well as the performance of these VW cars. There is no denying the fact that these Volkswagens are a lot of fun, great handlers and definitely very practical for Indian roads even with all these modifications. But which among these two would you prefer? Do you like the sleeper Vento or do you like the flashy Polo GT TDI? Do let us know in the comment section below. I will see you in the next video real soon. Bye bye.